everyone, it is your boy ReyGGTV. Hey guys, new flash to those over-obsessive Reggie stans. Guess what? 12 forever isn't good, and whether you believe in it or not, it's the truth, so stop acting like it is. No, but seriously though, the show is just not really all that amazing to me. Now before you go to the comments and storm off saying, Ray, why the frick you hating on my homegirl Reggie, man? What the frick is your freaking problem? Hear me out. Or just, dislike the video anyways, because I'm pretty sure some people will end up doing it anyways. But I have my own sorts of feelings and thoughts about this show that I'm not too sure if people will either agree with me or not. And although that is because although the show was popular back when it first debuted, that's really when its peak was. And it doesn't help how the show was pretty much canceled after its first season, and although I don't usually like to bring up controversies that have happened with people who have been involved with shows like these, I feel that the controversies that have surrounded the show creator, as well as some that may or may not have occurred in the actual fan base itself, is what I believe really killed off the show for most people like me. And today, I think to the general public, is just easily looked back upon as a failed piece of media that had some potential to be good. I originally wanted to look back on the show more recently to see if, I could probably revisit it and see if it deserves another chance. Then I remembered the first episode existed. In the first 5 minutes, I was screaming in pain. No, like, seriously, thank God the rest of the episodes were only 11 minutes long, because holy shit, was this a freaking cringe fest to go through. I remember watching the first episode for the first time and thinking to myself, 32 short films about Glenn Gould is really sounding better right now. So if we can talk about some of the good things about this show first, is that despite everything about how horrible this show is, I really like the character and background designs. Like, if this was a show that was on Cartoon Network, this kind of art style for the show would fit perfectly into an already crazy world of shows Cartoon Network has. Oh wait, the only thing I will say about it is that it feels a little too in your face and energetic, even with its colorful and wacky designs the world of 12 takes place in. It's basically the equivalent of crushing Skittles, Nerds, and Sour Patch Kids all together and adding some pixie stick dust in it to snort out of from. That's basically what you get from a show like 12 Forever. Not just for its extremely colorful in-your-face backgrounds and scenes, but also for some of the characters that just make you say, what the fuck? I get it. I get the show wants to be, so random and be like a kid's sugar dream. That's kind of why the whole show is called 12 Forever in the first place, and maybe throw in some fart jokes every once in a while or two, maybe three. But that still doesn't freaking mean I like it. Like, seriously. And it was the first episode that was especially guilty of this. I wouldn't say that the rest of the episodes were as bad as the first one, but still, I just couldn't get over how obnoxious and random it was. It was basically like if you took two shows, Steven Universe and Star Versus, they came and married each other, but during their pregnancy, one of them decided to become addicted to LSD, and that's basically what the show came out of. It tries so hard. It tries so hard to be random while also being funny, even with some of the self-aware jokes being put in there. Barely even made me chuckle because of how ungodly cringy it is. And the sad part is that I came to this show with intention that it would be an overall fun and hilarious experience. And it does have some potential too, like with its own pilot, some of the character development, the wacky designs of these fun worlds and people, Reggie amongst other characters to be LGBTQ, and a main villain in which I thought was better than anything this show was. But all of that is just overshadowed by how obnoxious, overly random, and attempts at comedy are. It's just not good. I want it to be good. And I wanted to revisit this show to see if I have changed my mind about it. But it's still the same terrible, overly obnoxious show as I first originally saw it as. And there's no changing that. The only reason why I would still see people even talk about this show today is when someone decides to make another fan art of Reggie, or for how genuinely incredible some of its art is, or that it has LGBTQ representation. But that's it. I don't see why anyone would even enjoy the show for its comedy or story. It's just not that show, man. If you want to see a show that is a million times better, has better story, humor, and action, go watch Star, Steven Universe, or literally any show. It is not that hard. I don't know, man. It was bad when I first watched it, but it's still bad even when I try to revisit it. And I'm almost sort of glad this got canceled for a season 2 because, well, it's just not that show for me. So if I were to give the show a rating, although it is certainly not the worst thing on the entire planet, it sure is one hell of a hole for me. And it's such a shame because they could have made this one of Netflix's best animated shows on the platform, considering its characters, its representation, and colorful areas that take place throughout the show. But even that couldn't overshadow the way of what I believe, in my opinion, to be the most overly obnoxious and unfunny the show is. And that's one of the reasons as to why I also think 12 Forever is just another piece of forgotten media. So because of that, 12 Forever gets my rating of 2 out of 10. So what do you guys think? Do you also think the show is bad, or do you have your own opinions? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't have any ideas on what to say. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see y'all later.